Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lou's Colourful Crafts tonight on Tuesday, the 18th of October. Crikey, where's this year going? I'm Louise Daniels. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK, and tonight I thought we'd have a little bit of fun with a new set I've just received. It is part of one of our bundles. It's called Bewitched. It comes with a punch. You can probably guess it's going to have a Halloween theme. And I just wanted to have a bit of fun tonight. I hope you've enjoyed your weekend. Ours was really quite nice, quite restful. I did a wonderful class with my ladies, with my card club. And don't forget, this is going to happen monthly. It's £30. And you can join in either with me in person, with us via Zoom, or you can just have the kit sent out to you or collect from my house in Retford and just craft along at home. It does include full PDF of instructions with photographs, and I'm hoping that some more people will join us in November, but I'll talk about that more. So tonight, Bewitched. I'll just switch the cameras and I'm going to introduce you to this fun stamp set, obviously for Halloween, and it's coordinating punch. They do come as one of Stampin' Up's bundles. If you purchase one of these, you get 10% off rather than buying them individually. Don't forget to say hello if you're out there, because otherwise I don't know who's watching and it's a bit strange sitting here talking on my own. It comes with 4 cling stamps with some shoes, a spider and some fun stars and the punch. So without further ado, what I'm going to do first of all, I am going to also just bring in some cardstock. It's the paper from the Host stamp set, and I've got the gorgeous grape. Why have we not turned round? Let me see why my screen's not turned over. Was that right? Let's try again. Let's see, it should turn round in a minute. I've got gorgeous grape cardstock, like so. And I've got some white pieces. And then this DSP, as I say, is from the Host set. There we go, gorgeous grape. And we've got the little spooky ghosts. And I've taken a piece that's Granny Apple Green. But first of all, what I need to do, I'm going to pop those out of the way, and I'm going to copy. I'm going to take this stamp, this what do you call him? Punch. No, that's the stamp. I'm tired. We've been jabbed. Right, and I'm going to bring in my gorgeous grape. Hi, Elizabeth. And I'm just going to punch him on there, like so. There we go. Oh, I might just do the other side because I just might be able to get a bit more ink. Oh yes, that's better. Pop them and one out of the way. I'm going to bring in my blends. These are the Granny Apple Green. They come, if you remember, in 2 colours, dark and light. I'm going to take the dark one, and I'm going to use the fine tip just to, hi Mum, go along there, add a little bit of colour to my little hat, like so. And then I'm going to bring in the light what's it called? I'll tell you, I've got brain fog. Pumpkin pie, that's him. There we go. I love these blends. In he goes. And the first thing I'm then going to do, as I say, this comes as a bundle. Hi Fran. This comes as a bundle with a punch. And I'm going to pop my, no, I'm not, because it's too big. I do this every time. I cut myself my paper too long and it doesn't go into the punch properly. Right, I'm going to just punch out my hat. This I brought because I do a parent and child class in Cheltenham. Oh, I've got Cheltenham on the brain. In Retford. And this year we're doing one just before Halloween. So I thought we'd have a bit of fun. It's quite tricky to line him up. There we go. Grab him. There he is. Punch him out. Fire him everywhere. And then I'm going to take another little piece like so. I think this is the right size, it is. And first I'm then going to grab the feet, and I'm going to use a black, stays on, and make sure I've got plenty of black. You want some nice black shoes as this here, which pop them at the base. There we go. And I'm going to bring in the same colour. There's things sliding off the end of my desk and it's quite disconcerting. Colour in her socks. This witch has got pumpkin pie stripes and little purple bows. Buckles. Don't know if anybody else has bought this set yet or looked at this set. I wasn't going to do anything Halloween, but actually it's quite good fun. So just a simple layout. I'm going to bring the card back in. I'm going to use some glue to just... No, I'm not, because that one's not going to work for me today. What is it with glue at the moment? There we go. Glue this one on. This is, as I say, these are from the host sets of papers, the DSPs. I think they're just a bit of fun. There's fireworks, there's Christmas, there's Halloween. And then for all of those of you who like it to be perfectly straight, I apologise right now. It's not going to be. I'm going to pop that one at an angle across there, like so. There we go. And I'm going to pop her feet on the top there, like so. It is all just going to be glued on. Just turn him round. Very simple little card, this one. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals on my hat. And just realised I haven't sorted out any sentiments. Oh well, I'll post a picture of them with some sentiments on them later on. Anyway, it's up. I have got some Halloween sentiments. And I'm just going to pop the hat on her feet. And I'm going to bring in the little spider from the set, like so. I'm going to get a bit more of this black stays on. And there we go. I'm going to have a spider. There we go. And I will have a sentiment that says Happy Halloween at the top. I just haven't got it out the cupboard. And then obviously this piece will have needs a white piece in its middle. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in some of these stars that were in the catalogue once upon a time, because I just thought they added a bit of fun, bit of bling. And I'm not sure, they were earlier on today, they were on the clearance rack, these stars. I don't know whether they still are, but they're in sort of a purpley pink, which I suppose is supposed to be the gorgeous grape and the pumpkin. There we go. So there's my first Halloween card. Just a bit of fun. I hope you enjoyed that one. And it's really good to use the blends just to colour some of our images. I'll pop that one out of the way now. This one, same idea. This is an ordinary white, cardstock, black base, and some more of one of our host papers, black and white. Now, what I've got that I think is really good fun, I haven't had any for ages, I hope you can see it. We have some really, really glittery washi tape. If you haven't come across washi tape, you need to get some of this. It's good fun. Again, it's the four, I suppose you'd call them Halloween colours, wouldn't you? Thanks, Elizabeth. Just a bit of fun. But anyway, I can't get into my washi tape, so you've no idea what I'm going to do with it because I'm going to spend 20 minutes trying to unwrap it. Right. Nope. Still can't. No, definitely still can't. There we go. There we go. No. Oh, yes. So they come in little reels. They're sticky. And we have an orange, a green, a purple and a black. And all I thought I'd do, don't know whether it's going to work, we'll give it a go, is I'm going to take an ordinary piece of paper. And before I start punching hats and things, I'm going to just find the end, which like any other tape is impossible. Oh, there we go. And I'm just going to put some stripes on here. Like so. I'll trim it in a minute properly. That's the purple. Because I thought this might be a really good and easy, fun technique for the children to have a go at. If you've got young people that want to do a bit of Halloween crafting, I'm going to pop it up, not quite touching. There we go. I'll do one there. And an orange one. Oh. Never worked with cameras and washi tape. Where on earth? We might not have any orange, ladies and gentlemen, because there's no end. It genuinely is no end. I honestly can't see. Oh, there it is. It had to be there somewhere. There we go. Bit of orange. If it doesn't go quite where you want it, as long as you don't hold it down too, it can move it a little bit. And then some black, which is even more tricky to find. Oh no, there's the black one. And then I'll trim that and see what it looks like. There we go. Unpick it from my grid paper. It does stick. You can just stick them over to get a nice neat edge. I prefer to do this and trim them off, because I find if you trim them off, you don't always get them really nice and tight. Get a nice proper edge. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. I love washi tape. I wish we had more of it. It's really good fun just to add a little bit of something. So there's that one. Now, while I'm doing another hat, shall I do some at the bottom? Same there. Add another lot of stripes. Let me know. Yes or no to stripes, and I'm going to find us another hat. I have a different flavour of hat. Yes or no to some stripes? What do we think? Yes or no to some stripes? This one looks like it's got a cobweb on it, so I thought I'd do it in the black. Pop him on there. Yes, okay, I'll put some more sparkles on. So let's just use my blends very quickly. And this hat's going to be purple up here. And again, with the blends, you let the colour run a bit. Let the colour run, because it will flood into the spaces you're poking it into. I'm going to come up here and do this part of the hat in purple. This is the broad tip, the brush, because I don't need it to be as fine. There we go. I'm going to come in with the green across there. There we go. And then I'm just going to, as I'm thinking, I'm going to actually do the purple, the darker purple, in here, in between, quite carefully, around the cobwebs, because I'm just thinking aloud here. I do this quite a bit, you probably gathered. So if I do the darker purple for the cobweb, but then add a little bit more bling in a moment, you can see, I think that looks better than just all being pale purple. You can go over the black, you just be careful because it will obviously merge a little bit. There we go, like so. And then I'm going to bring in my trusty wink of Stella. Where's she gone? There she is. And I'm going to, hi Joanna, I'm just going to put in some wink of Stella on the actual cobwebs, like so. Pop it in the punch again. Hopefully I haven't got this too big, and we'll see whether we need another. Oh, funny, some things I can't do right-handed, and getting things into a punch is one of them. There we go. There we go, that's better. No, it's not. Too much on that corner. Right, now try. There we go. No, I'm not going to have it. I'm going to end up cutting it out by hand. You could, of course, just cut this out. I'm determined to make this punch work tonight. You don't want to sit and watch me fighting with the punch. I'll just show you. You can fussy cut them just the same. I just don't like fussy cutting. One of the few things I do left-handed is use my scissors. Can use them with the other hand, but it's not a very good effect. There we go. So, one little hat. And of course, one of the things you could do if you were doing this with other children, or anybody really, you could actually just punch out the hats. So we have, I'm going to put definitely have some more stripes. So I'm going for some stripes. Not going to do them exactly the same colours, like so. I'm going to just do them as I pick them up. There we go, a few more stripes. Bit of orange. It's lovely stuff, this. Really pretty, this glitter. Trying to think what else I can do with it other than Halloween, because they're not Christmas colours. Or need some purple. There we go. Pull him off. Oh, I've lost the black one. Black one stayed put. Slow down. There we go. That's funny, these ones aren't working at all. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that one's, I thought that one had gone strange. You can just about, if it doesn't quite work, you can do what I've just done, which is unpeel it slightly. There we go. And I'm going to bring my little hat in, like so. And I think we need another little hat in there. So I'm going to punch one out just to show you what I meant. I'm going to just punch one out of the Parakeet Party green, because I think you can make your own hats with this stuff as well. And you see this hat then, that one's purple and green. This one's going to have a little green, a little purple, bit of whatever, washi. There we go. So that's another way of making the hats. Quite like that one actually. Going to pop him on with some dimensionals that I've lost now in the melee that is my desk. There we go. It does need some sentiments. I promise you I will find some. Funny, I always forget something when I'm crafting. I always think, oh, I should just have, and I don't. So there we go. Another little hat there. Yeah, I'd love more washi tape. It's fun. There we go. Oh, and the little star has already dropped itself on. So let's find a little bit of glue, because eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that you've got, oh, world is conspiring against me tonight. There, we've got a star. Oh, for heaven's sakes. No, we may not be able to do much more crafting tonight, ladies, because there we go. We have some stars that came out of the punch. There's one. Can't get him tonight. I've had a flu jab, but I'm sure it hasn't made me this dopey. Right, there we go. There's one. There's another. I've just spotted something else that came out of the punch. I'm going to add. Who spotted the stripe? The hat band. Nope. There we go. There's a little hat band. So when I punched out the big hat, you ended up with a hat band. So that one can be all very sparkly. And there we go. There we go. And I'll find these other stars that are here somewhere. And I'm going to just pop a couple of purple ones on. I can just imagine little people, young people, doing this. Pop another orange star on there just so you can see it. And then all I was going to do with this one was take the piece of paper, add some Tombow that's now decided it can work, pop it on. Hi Lorraine, yeah, I'm sorry, I have to go on to Lou's Colourful Crafts now. Facebook are playing silly devils at the moment. I don't exist as Louise Daniels. Well, I do, but not for this. So don't ask me why. I've worked out how to get my events to come back up, which took some manufacturing and fiddling. Yeah, don't ask. So we're just playing with the Bewitched set. Don't normally do Halloween unless I've got a parent and child class, and I happen to have one at the right dates. So I thought, you know what, let's go for it. So there we go. So that's using the new glittery washi tape, some of the host paper, black and white paper, Parakeet Party, Gorgeous Grape just coloured in, and that's my second card of tonight. And then just for a bit of fun, I didn't have all of the re-ink as I thought I did. Just need to fire it onto the floor. Just wanted to show you something, because I know some of you purchased the re-inkers, and I just wanted to show you another thing you can do with them. So I've got some pumpkin pie card, piece of ordinary plain white. I'll move the blends back out of my way up here. And first of all, it's Christopher's palette, so it's slightly well used. And I've got a drop of 3 re-inkers. I've got the yellow, the green and the orange. And I've got a little drop in each one. In fact, I might put a little bit more. So this one is the yellow. And I'm sorry, Lorraine, but it is slightly messy, but it is doable. Again, I do this one. I've done this technique with the children. It's really easy, and they can have lots of fun and make lots of patterns and lots of mess, but you don't actually have to clear too much away. All you need as well then is some water, an aqua paint or an ordinary brush, and a bit of tissue. And the first thing you're going to do is just literally use the ordinary water and just wet your cardstock like so. Just ordinary water going on quite wet. The paper will lift up. I should have done this at the beginning, because then it would have gone flat and you'd have seen what I was doing. But anyway, so you just get it nice and wet, I'm not going to put ink all over it, and then I'm not doing anything fancy. I am just going to pick up a little bit of one of the colours, like so, with my brush, and let it be, like so. And a bit more water, plenty of water in the ink. There we go. And then I'm going to get another bit of the green, and you'll see what's happening. Bit more of the water, bit more water, bit of the orange, bit more of the green. Quite autumnal actually, I don't know about Halloween. I suppose you're thinking of pumpkins. You can put it on the top. There we go, it's starting to go. You need to get, it's getting the balance of having enough water and that you can make it work. There we go, and that's literally only 2 or 3 drops of re-inker. So you could see how you could do this with younger people. Let it dry, and then what the tissue is for is just to make sure you mop it up. And then all I was going to do, pop that out of the way. I know you don't like mess, but it's not that messy, it's just quite effective. I might put a bit more green on actually. I think we need a bit more green on this one. So another drop, literally a drop of the re-inkers, plenty of water, a bit more water. Because again, like everything with Stampin' Up, I can put it on, I just can't take it off. There we go. I'm going to let that run a bit more. There we go. There we go. I might just put some more water at the top there, a bit more of the orange. And let those run down. And then I'm going to bring my tissue back in. There we go. And then all I was going to do, and I don't know whether it's going to work, I'm going to bring in the final hat, because I haven't practiced this. You can practice things for too many times. You put yourself off if you practice. And I'm going to bring in the big hat and my Memento ink. And make sure my stamp is nice and black. In fact, I'm going to try that on my grid paper just to make sure. I thought it wasn't as black as I wanted it to be. I might need to make this, use the other ink. That looks like my Memento wants re-inking. Well, let's try the StazOn. Doesn't matter which black with this, I just wanted one that is black, which is why I'm trying it now. That's blacker. And I'm just going to pop a couple of hats straight on. And you can see why you need it to be really inky. That one wasn't. There we go. Hold him down, let the ink take to paper. That's better. There we go. And had I got some purple ink, which I thought I did have, but I couldn't find, I'm also going to put a few little spiders on him. I just thought it was a fun way of showing you how to use your ring inkers. There we go, we'll have a couple of spiders. There we go. Another spider over here. Another spider over there. And it's a really fun way of using re-inkers to do a background. I'll do a different one another night. And all we're going to do then is to grab some glue, and there we go, bit of Halloween fun. As I say, this is the Bewitched Bundle. It is available at 10% if you buy the stamp and the punches. They're available from my online shop. Just going to turn that over because I've not let it dry. There we go. And I think this one's going to have a few sparkles on it. I'm just going to grab some silver pearls and just put them 1, 2 and 3, like so. And maybe we'll have a gold one too. Oh, there we go. 1. Got him. 2. There we go. So let me just move myself a space so you can actually see what I've created. And I hope you've had a bit of fun. I'll come back and see you. So we have a sparkly one with the washi tape and lots of glitter and the ombre glitter paper. You could do all sorts of things with this. One where I've used re-inkers, bit of watercolour, bit of aqua, bit of water, and then just stamped directly onto it. Thanks, Fran. And then just an ordinary one using up some of our DSP. So a classic Stampin' Up, simply stamped, coloured, bit of blends, a few spiders and a few stars. So I will come back and say hello. I do hope you've enjoyed that. It's been lovely sharing this with you this evening. I will carry on doing my lives on a Tuesday. I much prefer it. I had a really good time at the card club on Saturday. And for those of you who do want to take part in November, I will give you a hint in as much as it's called All That Glitters, Snowmen, Sparkles and More. And thank you, Lorraine. So the kit will be £30. You'll get all sorts of things, something, a bit of a surprise in it. And we will be making 6 cards, 2 of 3 designs and a shaker card. So if you'd like to take part, do let me know. I need you to book your place before the end of October. And then I can get on and fingers crossed get everything ordered and get it all sorted out and sent to you. But thanks ever so much for watching me tonight. It's been great fun. I hope I've given you all a little bit more inspiration. If you do make anything similar or you have a go, do post them either on my page or in our group. And that way we can all see what we're up to. But take care. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.